Hi guys, join me as we draft a basic sleeve together. So here's the measurement we'll be working with. That's the measurement we are working with. So you ensure you fold your paper into two. The thickest part of the measurement I'm working with is 16 inches. So I've already folded about 17 inches into two, which means I have 8.5 inches on each part. And here is me taking the full length. The length we are working with, as you can see in our measurement, is length 23. Then you take the folding allowance. I'm taking about 1.5 inch for folding. Then from our shoulder down to the elbow, down to our elbow, we'll be working with 12 inches. From shoulder to elbow. Then also from our shoulder, you come down by 5 inch. You come down, measured it down, mark it out also. Now let's draw out all our horizontal lines. From shoulder, come down by 5 inches. Then also on the elbow part, you draw out your lines. And also on the wrist part, do the same. Then our folding allowance from our wrist, which is our full length, we are having about 1.5 inch folding allowance. You also draw it out. So with our measurements on the thickest part of our sleeve circumference, so we are making use of 16 inches. So divided by 2, that's 8 inches. Let's mark out our 8 inches. On the elbow part, you also take whatever circumference you are working with, divided by 2, you mark it out. And also on our wrist part, our circumference on the wrist part is 8 inches, divided by 2, that's 4 inches. On the wrist part, 4 inches. So on this part, I'll be adding 1.5 inch allowance. 1.5 inch sewing allowance. On the elbow part, I'm making use of 1 inch, and on the wrist part also I'm making use of 1 inch. So whatever you have on the wrist part is what you will also measure on the folding allowance part. You know, our 4 inches plus 1 inch, that's 5 inches. But on this particular part, which is our folding allowance part, we'll be extending it by 1/4 inch. Yeah, you have to extend it with 1/4. I'll be explaining that. I'll be explaining the reason for the extension later. Now let's connect our lines together. So here's me connecting the main body measurements together. You connect it together, and also our allowance, you also connect your allowance together. Yeah, let's connect everything together. Now remember, I said on the folding allowance part, you have to extend it. We extend it by 1/4 inch. Then you also connect the lines together, the measurements rather. You connect the measurements together from your wrist down to your folding the tip of our folding allowance. You connect it together. Now let's cut out our excess paper. Don't worry, I'll be explaining the reason for the extension, for the 1/4 extension. So this is the reason for the 1/4 extension. from our full length, by the time you fold in your allowance, if you don't extend that part with a 1/4 of an inch, by the time you fold it in, it will flip in. Can you see that? This particular tip won't be rhyme. Can you see it's not connecting together? But because of the 1/4 extension, if you extend it by a 1/4 of an inch, by the time you fold it in, can you see that it will lap? Can you see? It will lap together, so there won't be a kind of confusion when you're about folding it in or when you're about joining your fabric. So that's why on the folding part, always ensure you extend it by a 1/4 of an inch, so that by the time you fold it in, can you see, it will lap on each other. Now let's take our proper measurement. So from your armpit part to the shoulder, you slantly draw out a line. Then we take our measurements. Whatever we have on this line, we divide it into 2. In this video, what we have here is 11 inches with the measurements we are working with. So 11 inches divided by 2, that is 5.5. So on the first part to our shoulder, we leave the first half. So on this second part to your armpit, you are going to divide the 5.5 you have there into 2. You divide the 5.5 you have on that part into 2 again. So on the first part, we extend it up by 1/2 inch. Then on this second part, you come in by 1/4 of an inch. 1/4 of an inch. Then we are going to connect it down to the armpit. You extend there by 1/2 inch. You come in here by 1/4 of an inch. Then let's connect it together. Can you see that? Please, if you do not have a good drawing skill, you can make use of your cuff ruler. But for me, I'm using a free hand. Can you see that? Connect it together. Then you also connect it down to the tip. That is down to the armpit. Drafting a basic sleeve is very, very easy. Can you see that? So this will serve as a back sleeve. This will serve as the back part of your sleeve. So now for our front sleeve, on this part, we are going to come in with another 1/2 an inch. You came in there by 1/4 of an inch before. So after drawing out our back sleeve, our back part of the sleeve, then you have to come in with another 1/2 inch. Then you also connect it together. So this is for the front sleeve. That will serve as the front part of our sleeve. The first line is for the back sleeve, while the second one is for the front part of the sleeve. So now let's cut it out. We are cutting out here is me cutting out the front part of the sleeve. Sorry, the back part of the sleeve. Then you flip up the other part a bit and also cut it out. So here we are cutting out the front part of our sleeve. Can you see that? So that's the front part. Our elbow point, our wrist, which is our full length, so now depending on the measurement you are working with, so you have to indicate, you indicate on it, that's the back part of the sleeve. So depending on the desired sleeve length you are working with this illustration you can work with short sleeve, 3/4, long sleeve. So you just have to measure that's the length you are working with. Now always remember on this part, like I explained earlier, you ensure you extend your folding allowance by 1/4 of an inch, so that when you fold it in, it will not flip in, it will lap. So that is it about drafting a basic sleeve. So assuming we are working with short sleeve, you just have to mark out your desired length, then you add your folding allowance to it. If you are working with 3/4, the same thing is applicable. Kindly subscribe to this channel. Thank you for watching. Bye.